you so much for joining me today at Everyday Yoga. I am so happy that you clicked on this video today. We are going to do a low back relief yoga practice today. So let's just go ahead and stand on our mats. I'm just going to kind of move mine because it's crooked, and not that I have any kind of compulsions or anything, but it's better when it's straight, right? We're just going to take the feet out a little bit wider than hip distance, and we're just going to kind of sway from side to side. Just gently moving the neck, moving the body, moving the hips, maybe lifting the toes as you come to one side and then the other. Our bodies are made up of more than 70% water. So when we can sway like water, nice and slow. Visualize yourself being like one of those big old strands of seaweed coming up from the bottom of the ocean. Just swaying with the tide. And then let's just begin to kind of move a little from side to side, twisting just a little bit. Maybe bending through one knee as we lift the toes of the other. We're just kind of warming up the spine here, getting a little gentle movement. And you can be very slow and controlled here. You can come deeply into the knees if you like, or maybe you want to move it a little bit faster and maybe even catch some air here. Instead of being water, you can be more like a bird and spread your wings and catch a little wind underneath your arms as you sway from side to side. Just getting a little gentle movement here. And then we'll slow it down and come back to center. We'll come into our nice Tadasana pose here, bringing the feet underneath the hips. If you feel more comfortable and stable with the feet closer together, you can definitely do that, but I tend to feel a little more stable when my feet are out wider. Try to draw them parallel to one another, maybe even sort of tractioning the thighs inward to create space in the low back here. So when I'm not actually moving my legs, but I'm just kind of drawing them inward. I don't even know if you can see that because it's so subtle. But when you get it, you can notice that you've got a little more space down there in the tailbone. Speaking of tailbones, we want a nice long neutral tailbone here. So maybe think about these little hip bones in the front and see if you can't engage the pelvis just enough to sort of point those little hip bones up towards the sky, so that the tailbone drops down. Maybe open the arms up to the front so that the palms are shining forward, and challenge your balance if you like by closing your eyes. You can lift the heart, tuck the chin, draw the shoulder blades down towards the tailbone. Finding your mountain, your Tadasana, your Tada, here. Strong mountain. Take a full breath here. Then we're going to inhale those arms out and up towards the sky. And as we exhale, we're going to bring the palms down to the back of the neck, maybe interlacing those fingers so that the extended fingers are just at the base of the skull. And the thumbs can be pointing downward, maybe even giving yourself a little neck massage while you're here with those thumbs extended. We're just going to open up the arms, drawing the elbows back toward one another, drawing those shoulder blades down the back, keeping that pelvis nice and just gently tilted to keep the tailbone long. Noticing the connection of your feet to the earth. Keeping the chin tucked and keeping that head nice and supported with those hands. We'll inhale here, and as we exhale, Let's just move the shoulders and the head and just the top of the spine to draw the elbows towards one another. We'll inhale to open. Exhale to draw the elbows inward, tucking the chin, rounding just the top of the back, keeping in mountain pose from about the armpits down. Just a nice, gentle cat-cow for the top of the back. One more time. Inhaling to open. Exhaling to round. And this time we're going to continue the journey, curling the spine downward, keeping the fingers clasped behind the head and coming all the way down into forward fold. You can bend those knees as generously as feels good to you here. But we're just going to kind of hang on to the back of the head, sort of tractioning length in the spine, tractioning length in the neck, and breathing here, expanding the back of the body. Every time we inhale, really think about the low back right here. As we inhale, let's think about expanding the low back. And as we exhale, see if we can't make just a little more length in the spine. Inhaling and exhaling. Then we'll release the hands down to the earth. And we'll bring the right hand. You have lots of choices where you can bring the right hand. You can bring it in front of the right foot, in front of the left foot, to the top of the left foot, left ankle, left calf, whatever feels good to you. I like to bring it to the outside of my left ankle. And we're going to take those fingertips and draw them like a bow and arrow up the outside of the left leg and really contact your leg with your fingertips, drawing it all the way up outside the knee, the IT band, the hip, and then continue upward, reaching the fingertips towards the sky. And if you have any shoulder issues or anything, just bring the arm as high as it feels good to you. And we'll get a nice twist here, maybe straightening through that left leg and bending the right knee a little deeper. Getting a nice stretch in the IT band, in the outside of the calf, maybe in the pectoral muscle and the shoulder. You can take the gaze wherever it feels good for your neck. One more inhale here, wiggling the fingers up at the sun, and then exhale to release. And then we'll switch, bringing the left hand to wherever is comfortable for you. And then drawing the right fingertips up the right leg, reaching upward towards the sky, maybe bending deeply through the left knee as you straighten the right, reaching upward, noticing what you feel and where you feel it, and making any adjustments you need to make this a more comfortable position for you. One more inhale here as you wave to the sun, and then exhale to release the hand down to the earth. And then we'll roll the spine upward like we're a little blade of grass coming up to the spring, unfurling one vertebrae at a time. And then we'll inhale the arms up to the sky and exhale, hands to heart. And then we'll take the feet out a little bit wider. And we're going to come into Malasana, a low squat. So depending on your hips and the configuration of your body, this will look different for everybody. I like to point my feet out towards the corners, and with my hands at the heart, or if you prefer, they can be on your hips. We're going to slowly sink down into a nice low squat, coming all the way down to the earth. You can bring the fingertips to the mat. You can rock a little bit from side to side, coming up onto the toes of one side and then the other, making it a little playful, having a little bit of fun. Whatever works for your hips and the feet here and the ankles, you might want to draw the feet closer. Some people can get the feet totally parallel with the heels on the earth. But I like to come here where my feet are firmly planted on the earth, but my knees are pretty wide. You can keep your hands down to the ground, or you can press the triceps to the inner thighs here and bring the palms together for Malasana. If you're down in this position where your feet are completely on the earth, you really want to feel grounded through the bottoms of those feet. But if you're up on the toes, that's fine too. Wherever you are, we're going to bring the fingertips out in front now. And we're going to inhale and press into the feet and begin peeling the hips up towards the sky and straightening the legs. And then we're going to exhale to bend down into the knees again. Inhale to lift up, focusing on the sensations here in the low back and the shoulders. If it feels good to you, you can bring the feet out even wider. And the next time we come into this forward fold here with the legs extended, we'll stay here. And we can come back to that clasp behind the neck here. Again, noticing which hand defaults to the finger on top and then switching it, creating new synapses in our brain cells by creating new ways of doing things. And again, you can have the legs nice and straight here as long as they're not hyperextended, or you can bend the knees nice and deep. And just really allow the weight of the head to release and focus on that breath in the low back. Taking a few breaths right here. Maybe staying nice and still, maybe having a little bit of movement here. And then we'll go ahead and release the fingertips back down to the earth and come back into our Malasana. And then we're going to come to a seat. Lots of ways to get to a seat. You can bring your hands behind you and lower yourself gently down. Or you can extend those hands in front of you and pretend like I'm right in front of you and I'm holding your hands. And I am gently lowering you down to the earth. Or you can just get on your knees like you're just wanting to get down. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. So we're going to come into legs extended, Dandasana. Staff pose with our legs extended in front of us and our toes pointed up towards the sky. We'll inhale the arms up and alongside the ears. And exhale just to hinge forward here at the hips a little bit. Breathing here. Maybe releasing the fingertips down to the earth. You can keep a nice long spine with the heart drawn forward and the chin tucked. Or if it feels good, you can release the weight of the head and just let the back round forward. You can have the hands beside the legs or on the legs or the ankles. Or maybe you can reach down for the sides of the feet and draw yourself closer to the thighs. Whatever feels good for you here.
We're going to stay here for a couple more breaths. Again, focusing on breathing into that low back. Softening where you can, letting go of effort that's not serving you. Then we're going to go ahead and inhale and press ourselves back up to a tall seat. Let's bend the right knee and let it just draw out towards the right side on the floor here and bring the sole of the right foot to the inside of the left thigh. We'll do that same movement here, inhaling the arms up to the sky and exhaling to fold forward over the extended left leg. That left leg is as straight as is comfortable for you, or the knee might be bent a little bit, but the toes are pointing up towards the sky and the heart is in line with the knee. And again, you can keep right here with the nice straight spine, chin tucked, shoulders drawn down the back, or you can allow yourself to gradually come closer and closer to that knee and maybe even round the back, letting the head come towards the knee. Hands can be wherever seems natural and comfortable in your body today. You can reach for that left foot. If you're really flexible here and you have a block, you might even want to put the block at the bottom of the left foot and hold the block and really draw yourself downward. Lots and lots of options here. And we'll stay here for 3 full breaths. Again, focusing on that low back, breathing into the low back. Noticing if you can even feel the fascia, that connective tissue between the skin and the muscles, kind of releasing and relaxing and letting go. Wherever you are, we'll go ahead and inhale and use our fingertips to walk ourselves back up to a tall seat. Take that right hand out behind you towards that right hip. And we're going to inhale to lift the left hip, lift the left arm, and get a nice big stretch in that left hip here. Stretching in one long line from the left fingertips all the way down to the left toes. One more inhale here, and we'll exhale to release back into a seat. We'll extend the right leg and trade it for the left, bringing the sole of the left foot to the inside of the right thigh. We'll inhale the arms up to the sky and exhale to fold forward over that right leg. Tuck chin, heart in line with the knee, shoulder blades drawn towards the back, allowing yourself to soften into whatever part of this pose speaks to you and feels good into your body. Bringing your focus to any areas of tension in the low back, and inviting the breath there to expand and then release the tension with the exhale. Staying here for 2 more breaths. And then we'll release and begin to walk ourselves back up again. Then we'll plant that left hand behind the left hip and inhale the right hip and the right arm up towards the sky, opening up through the right side body. Nice and long from the fingertips to the toes. One more full breath here. And when you're ready to release, take an exhale and sink the hips back down to the earth, drawing the soles of the feet together into Vadakanasana, butterfly pose. And we'll just take a moment here to reconnect to the breath. Maybe coming back into that gentle cat-cow here. Inhaling the heart forward. Exhale, rounding back, drawing the chin towards the chest. Inhaling into cow pose, arching the back, lifting the heart. Exhale, cat pose, drawing the belly button to the spine. One more time. And then we'll just take a moment here in our short practice today. So if butterfly pose serves you and it's comfortable for you to stay in a seated meditation for just a moment, we can stay here. Or you can come into whatever seated pose works for you. You might even want to grab a block or a pillow to sit on. I like this nice little triangle here with one heel drawn in and then the other. The cross-legged or Dandasana with the legs out straight in front is fine too. Wherever you can be comfortably seated with a nice, beautiful, tall spine here. Let's just come back to our breath. Focusing on breathing in and out through the nose, which I am learning is the healthier option than breathing in and out through the mouth. You sleep better and you have more energy when you breathe through the nose. See if you can direct that breath to expand the belly. Maybe bring somebody to mind. Maybe it's a friend or a family member, furry or otherwise. And just send them a little mental hope for peace, harmony, and well-being. And then maybe choose another person or animal that you love. Send them peace, harmony, and well-being. And keep bringing people to mind that you want to wish peace and harmony and well-being to. I'm sending some to my husband and my cat, my daughter, my sister, and then expanding to my son all the way across the country, and then all their significant others and their children and their friends, to the people I work with. And then now you're getting over into territory for people you might not love a whole lot, but maybe send them peace, harmony, and well-being too. Just wishing and praying that all beings in all places can experience peace, harmony, and well-being, as well as freedom and happiness. All beings in all places includes you. So I wish you peace, harmony, well-being, and freedom and happiness. Let's inhale the arms up to the sky and overhead, bringing the palms together and exhaling them down to the heart. Again, peace, harmony, and well-being. I send from the light in me to the light in you. Namaste.